Three. Hey, fuck Christmas. I had a miserable time. I didn't get anything I wanted. Nothing happens good ever. Welcome to the franchise. I'm Daniel Ehrenberg. Over there, Henry. He hasn't mentioned Christmas. I don't know how his was. I'm sure it was fucking fine. Whatever.
It's a non-entity to me these days, man. To be honest, I don't mean to sound like two Grinches. I don't really care. I mean, Christmas comes and goes, and I worked on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, whatever.
December 23rd, I had 24 hours of grueling pain as a result of the booster shot. So that's great. I'm avoiding all the great sicknesses by getting very sick, and I'm back. And you know what? In 4 months, I'll be back in that chair, baby. Excited for my next shot.
Yeah, there's a feeling of excitement. I feel.
Hey, look who's talking now. Some fucking dogs. Let's talk about it. Amy Heckerling's back to direct. She didn't do the dog one. She did some babies. She brought along her untalented husband, Neil Israel, for the ride. Great. All right.
I didn't know that.
America supports him over Neil Palestine. Let's go, Brandon.
Was Neil part of a British mandate as well?
What's that?
Point? Was Neil part of a British mandate as well in 1921, I think?
That's a reference to something I'm not familiar with. This film, Look Who's Talking 2. That's also, to your friends, it's not the number 2. It's TOO, meaning Look Who's Talking as well.
TOO.
Yeah. And I'll tell you who's talking as well. Another baby, a female one this time, with a pussy. And she, in the last movie it was Joan Rivers at the end, and I made that joke about how it's a Jewish baby to this great Scientologist couple. And, but it's not Joan Rivers in this one, it's Roseanne Barr. And, Roseanne Barr.
Are they a comedy duo?
No, Roseanne Barr. She was the star of the show Roseanne that got canceled that became The Conners.
Oh, the John Goodman vehicle.
Yeah, The Conners with John Goodman and Lacey Goranson. Okay. Everyone's favorite actress.
Roseanne Barr.
Yeah.
Got it. Can
you imagine the Conners, like, pitching that, like, it would have to, like, if that show got pitched without Roseanne. Like, Roseanne, of course, was fired from the show for being racist, of course.
Yes.
But what if they went into the studio and they were like, it's like Roseanne, but it doesn't have Roseanne. Okay, who does it have? The Sun? It's got the Sun. DJ, he's in it. The star of the show. Get this, the star of the show, Sarah Gilbert. You better really care about Sarah Gilbert.
High Fidelity's Sarah Gilbert.
Sure, great. One of
the
least memorable parts of High Fidelity.
Yeah. Anna Moss? Was she all green and fuzzy and mossy?
Oh, I forgot about that. All right, so this movie was released December 14th. Can you just maybe just 3 inches to the left of the mic when you vape instead of directly into it?
To my left or your left?
Wherever the mic isn't, that's where I want you to vape. All right? You can still hear it. It's unbelievable. All right, this movie came out December 14th, 1990, around the Christmas season. You might think that's why we're covering it for Christmas. It's not. The next one's a Christmas movie. This one is not.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
I'm glad we covered it.
Are you?
No.
Okay. So the budget, we don't know. They didn't release that. The first one was 7.5, and the third one's 22. So let's say somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, it's a big budget. It's four times the No, I'm sorry. What'd you say? I'm looking at the box office.
I
Pardon.
said that the budget for the first one was 7.5, and for this one it's 22. I don't know the budget for this one. Let's say it's somewhere in between.
Gotcha.
15 or something.
All right.
It made 47.8. Number 24 at the box office between Awakenings and Hard to Kill.
Oh. Two
Yeah.
good movies.
Yeah, Penny Marshall's Awakenings and I believe Bruce Malmuth's Hard to Kill.
Bruce Malmuth?
Would you believe that? I think I know the director of Hard to Kill off the top of my head.
Holy shit.
He might have directed Marked for Death. I might be mistaken though.
Whatever, the fact that you can name any Seagal director, man, that's pretty good.
Andrew Davis directed Under Siege.
Well, that I know.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, this movie it did well at the box office, I guess, but like the last one made like 300 million, so they lost a lot of money.
This is a tanker, man. I mean, honestly.
But it's still but it's a $47 million movie. Like, you still greenlight the third one. I get why they did.
Yeah. Did they ever look at it though, like how when it's something so grotesquely profitable like the first one and the second one comes not even within 25% of that, do they ever look at something and go, okay,
they probably put it straight to video even back then, but what you're not taking into consideration is that Look Who's Talking is a Columbia TriStar product, and Columbia TriStar was run by Barbara Streisand's hairdresser John Peters at the time, so things weren't going well.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
I gotcha. We got some TriStar music within the film as well.
We did get TriStar music, and we also got Bruce Willis doing a little bit over the TriStar logo.
It was very funny.
He, because the TriStar logo is a horse, like a Pegasus.
Yeah, I always liked that little intro in TriStar.
So Bruce Willis piped in with like, "Hello, Wilbur," big Mr. Ed impression.
Yeah, I didn't know that was Bruce Willis saying that until I read about it, and I wasn't impressed with this Mr. Ed impression.
No, my dad does a way better one.
I believe you.
He did it on a Patreon show that you weren't on, so if you dig through those, you might hear my dad's Mr. Ed impression.
I recall you saying that.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, it's really annoying way to start the movie. A really annoying way to start a really annoying movie.
An extraordinarily annoying movie, a very, very bad movie, as is the one we'll be following it up with.
But the third one, I think, is bad in more compelling ways. The second one, it's like Heckerling had nothing. She had nothing. They were like, "Hey, Amy, make a sequel." She was like, "I've got no ideas. Let me bring in my fucking husband who wrote fucking Bachelor Party, and we'll discuss this." All right?
Oh, so Bachelor Party.
Yeah.
All right.
He loves boobs, baby. So, they got together and worked on this movie. They managed to eke out about 75 minutes of material, and TriStar was like, we could call that a movie. And
yeah, that was one of the things I saw after I purchased this film for $2.99, that it was only 82 minutes or 81 minutes, and I was extremely happy.
Yeah,
I had a glow about me.
Oh yeah.
It didn't last that long, but it was. I'll take it. It was nice.
It does go fast. I never felt like this movie was dragging, and
like the next one.
I never felt like that movie was dragging.
Oh, I did. Yeah, because there's just nothing to these things.
I think there's a lot to the third one. I think the second one is like devoid of anything. Like they really went into this movie with nothing, with absolutely nothing on their brains, no plans. They were just like, all right, they have a girl now. The kid's jealous. Maybe there's marital problems.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, let's bring in a black baby. That's fine.
Right, do bring in a black baby.
By the way, I read that the black baby in the original trailers for the movie was voiced by Richard Pryor. And then by the time the movie came out, it's Damon Wayans.
Wow.
That's weird.
That is weird.
I wonder what the fuck happened there.
I don't know, man. See no evil, hear no evil. You know.
Well, I mean, we were hearing no funny because Richard Pryor wasn't involved in this movie.
I don't think it would have mattered. I don't think we would have heard much funny anyway.
I think Richard Pryor's got a thing about him where, like, when Richard Pryor's involved in a project, I'm ready to laugh. Yeah, there's like a goodwill attached to it. Like the second Richard Pryor shows up on screen, or I guess says something as a baby, I'd be like, "Hey, Richard Pryor." Whereas like Damon Wayans pops up, I'm just like, "Oh, it's Major Payne." All right. He's good. Like, he's far from the worst part of this movie. I like the Black Baby and Mr. Potty Man or whatever, but
that was pretty bad.
Well, when we see Mr. Potty Man, Mel Brooks, that's bad. But the original description of him, I thought was just fine baby talk.
I thought it was disgusting, but you know, that's just me.
He eats your poop and pee. There's a man living in the toilet. Yeah. And when you're a baby, you shit down the toilet, and he's there to eat your poop and pee. I think that's a good way to teach a kid to use the toilet. I wouldn't have been scared by that as a kid. That would have made sense to me.
I would have been scared.
All right, well, you know, some of us are pussies.
Yeah, I would have found that phantasmagorical and frightening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do? Oh, hey, I never talked about how this movie was nominated for some Razzies.
Oh, no,
yeah. Do you have a theme song?
I mean, yeah. I do.
Why don't you just sing it? Just sing it. Perform it for us.
Ooh, God, Dan's in a savage mood tonight.
Yeah. I want to get through this bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. If I lose my place, you have to help me out. All right.
Yeah.
Deal. All right. It's the raspberries, no razzmatazz, and all we're lacking is a little pizzazz, cause it's the golden raspberries, it's the worst of the worst, not the best of the best, it's pizzazz gone raz.
He didn't need me. I knew he didn't need me. Alright, Roseanne Barr nominated for Worst Supporting Actress, which I gotta say, I think is bullshit. I think she's funny in this movie, I think her voice adds something, and I'm considering her for my MVP.
She's not a problem in this movie. Yeah,
no,
she's not a problem.
She's not singing the national anthem or talking about black people.
This, you know, our youngish 20-something listeners might not know about that.
Yeah.
When she sang the national anthem, that was like, you remember how fucking huge that was?
It was the best. I mean, people don't remember that Roseanne Barr was one of the biggest stars on the planet Earth.
Oh, yes.
Roseanne, her self-titled sitcom, her eponymous sitcom, it was the #1 show, all right, huge. She was the #1 stand-up comedian. Her and Andrew Dice Clay, I think at the time. People called her, what was her name? The domestic goddess. And
okay.
Yeah, she broke into movies. She had some big movies, She-Devil, and what else?
I always think of She-Devil. I don't remember if she was really big in anything else. That was kind of the big, it's got Roseanne Barr in it. Like, that was a big deal. I remember when that came out.
She-Devil.
I haven't seen it in 30 years. That's got William Hurt and Meryl in it, right? Is it William Hurt in that?
I know Meryl Streep. I don't remember who the dude is.
Maybe it's not William Hurt.
Anyway, she was so big. That show ran for 9 seasons, I think. And then she just sort of disappeared. You know, she had a lot of like tabloid issues, like her weird marriage to Tom Arnold, and
yeah.
She had been married to like a normal person when she started the show, and then she kind of like lost weight and had a lot of surgeries, and things got weird for a while. But yeah, that the national anthem was an amazing thing. I think it was at a Phillies game, and
I remember. Yeah.
And she sung the national anthem almost like as a, like I think she like tried to sing it good at first and then like immediately realized she's bad at this. She was just gonna make a joke out of it. But the thing she's making a joke out of is the national anthem. And then at the end of it, she grabbed her crotch like baseball players do sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
And it didn't go over.
I recalled thinking at the time, I don't remember what year it was, early 90s? Probably.
Yeah, it must have been after this.
I think I was a teenager. I recall thinking that she set the whole thing up as a joke, but she obviously didn't clear that with the MLB, or they would have never let her do it. I mean, I don't even know how they even let her do it in the first place. That's what's shocking.
Well, I think the idea is you're having a big star singing your national anthem, which makes sense, and they just assumed like Roseanne Barr would like show up and in her voice go like, "And the land of the free and the home," but she like really hammed it up and like made it weird.
Yeah, she got booed.
I love it. Go back and watch it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Roseanne Barr is really funny, by the way. I love Roseanne Barr. Like, what she said to get fired from her show, she probably deserved to be fired from her show, but like, I think she's funny. I still do.
I was never really that big of a fan. Like, sort of even going back to when I was a kid and that show was big. I did watch it, but it was never, when it was airing, it was never like one of the big things I needed.
Well, I don't think you found women funny until about 2011. Like, Bridesmaids came out and you were like, I guess they're all right.
I didn't Bridesmaids.
I know you didn't.
Oh, I get it. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Like The Hangover. The Hangover came out. It was funny. It was good. Hangover's great.
So back to the Razzies. Roseanne Barr lost Worst Supporting Actress to Sofia Coppola for The Godfather 3.
That's fair.
That's very fair. Gilbert Gottfried was also nominated for Worst Supporting Actor for a combo of this movie, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane with Andrew Dice Clay, and The First Problem Child, which he's incredible in.
Yeah, okay.
And he lost, unfortunately, to former President Trump, who won Worst Supporting Actor for his appearance in Ghosts Can't Do It as himself.
Ghosts Can't Do It?
Yep, that was filmed by John Derek, Bo Derek's weird husband/father.
God, I've never heard of that.
Yeah. John Derek, you don't know his movies? Bolero is another one.
I've heard of Bolero, not the
Ghosts Can't Do It is from like 1990, and yeah, Trump's in it.
Well, that's nice. He got a Razzie.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right.
I mean, it didn't matter. He still became the president and changed the country and his image.
At least he's, got one blemish on his impeccable record.
He's zero blemishes. He's gonna die without ever going to jail, without ever... What?
He was a raspberry, sir.
It doesn't matter. The guy is golden. Like the raspberries.
It's a golden shower.
You know what? And he got away with that, still became president after pissing in the face of a Russian hooker, and he enjoyed every second of that experience, as I would have.
They pissed in his face.
I still would have enjoyed it. Okay, next. Henry. It does taste bad. All right, Henry, let's talk about it.
Asparagus.
Well, hopefully they didn't have any of that.
Oh, I don't know what they eat over there.
What, in Thailand?
He was in Russia.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Thailand.
Well, they have, what, borscht?
Why would he be over there? You got caviar.
Yeah, that's what he probably had. Fish eggs.
You definitely have borscht. I know that.
I just said borscht.
Yeah, I know you did. I know that from Eastern Promises.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of that movie? Vigo's dick?
You say that every time we talk about Eastern Promises.
It's the only thing I remember about it. I love that movie, but when I think about Eastern Promises, the first thing I think about is Vigo's dick.
God, you're weird.
It was just flopping around.
It's one scene.
But it's a long scene, and that thing is flopping around, and you're worried about it because there's knife play.
I wasn't worried.
No, I was worried. All right. Let's open on a great reprise of the classic sperms from the first movie. Making a go at that egg again, but, there's a new barrier. Kirstie Alley has gotten the diaphragm, and the diaphragm is talking back, saying, oh, you can't get in here. And then the sperm's going, but you want it, baby, you want it. And so this, my friend, is an incredible scene where sperm trying to get through a diaphragm and into a woman's egg is being portrayed as rape. So that's very funny.
It is. You are right. The dialogue, if the visuals were shut off,
you would think it's a rape scene.
I would think I was watching, I was hearing an audio recording of perhaps two lighthearted individuals, one attempting to sexually assault somebody, and
I'll tell you what, Travolta probably a heavy-hearted individual after the wife and son died.
I don't get the connection there.
I'm just saying he's not a lighthearted person.
Oh, well, no, he's not. It just felt like a non sequitur to the diaphragm scene.
Well, you said lighthearted, and it made me think of Travolta's Poor Heart.
Oh, Buster's Malheart.
Kirstie's pregnant again. I guess Travolta, he's got the same seed power that George Segal had in the last one. He does a nice parody sequence here to some great classic songs of the day.
Which part are you speaking of?
Well, once we get out of, Kirstie Alley's womb, once we fade out of Kirstie Alley's womb and get into the real world, we see they're trying to potty train little Mikey, who can talk, yes. But for some reason we still hear as Bruce Willis.
Dude, that is one of the weirdest fucking things in this whole movie,
Doesn't make any sense.
And it started to it was weird in the last, half hour or so of the last movie. I mean, first of all, these parents should be extremely concerned that their son is able to move his mouth but not speak. I mean, that clearly he might have atrophy.
Oh, I just assume he always has peanut butter in his mouth.
Oh, well, I mean, that's...
like a horse. Like Mr. Ed.
Circled back.
Do you think that's why he did the Mr. Ed? Because they are really using a lot of Mr. Ed production techniques in the making of this film. I don't remember the baby voice, like the mouth moving like that as much in the first one.
It's very strange because you would think the way to go, if you're still going to perpetuate this mystical child, it would be to just have them keep their mouth shut.
Well, I don't think they're writing the jokes beforehand. I distinctly think, this is my theory, I think Amy Heckerling is just shooting footage of babies and then writing jokes in after.
You're probably right. Yeah.
To, match their movements, Yeah,
no, you're probably right. You know what else? I did have this thought. This was not a concern back in the day, especially in 1990. But it doesn't really happen anymore.
COVID? No, that still happens a lot.
If that was around in 1990, that would have been interesting for this movie. Everyone would have been masked, and then they could have talked through their voices, and their mouth wouldn't have been moving.
Now's the perfect time to reboot it.
Yeah, it is. Everyone, look who's talking. I don't know, because I can't tell. No, did you notice, did it ever concern you when you were looking at the movie with the girl?
I had great concern.
Is it Julie? Is the baby's name?
I don't care. Let's just call her Roseanne.
When Roseanne is crying.
Yeah.
It's a cute baby.
It is cute.
Didn't stay cute.
I disagree. I think it's a cute. I understand what you're saying. They picked sort of like a weird, chubby-looking baby with sort of like a Down syndrome face, but I think it's still pretty cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't say any of that.
I think Mikey looked like a nightmare in this movie. I didn't want to spend a second with that kid.
Well, anyway, let me say. So every time the baby is crying, you have to remind yourself now that we know so much about movie magic that is an actual child who's an infant.
Yeah.
They are making cry.
It's fine. The parent just sticks a finger up their butt or something.
They're crying and then not crying, crying and then not crying. I think there is an element of abuse.
Nah, I trust Amy Heckerling's sets.
They don't do. I trust their sets too, but I think it was the time. They don't do that anymore. Now they get fucking prosthetic babies, as we know.
Renesmee.
Correct. Or children that are at least possibly old enough to know that what's happening is not real. It's interesting though. You look at this baby, and every time it's crying, I'm like, look at him, like, God, that's awful.
Henry, I was thinking that since my mom's name is Esme, and your mom's name is Renee, maybe Renesmee.
That's a Twilight reference. Reference our episodes 280 something through the rest.
Great. So Travolta, I was referencing his great song parodies here. My favorite being Potty All the Time.
Yes, Eddie Murphy, big hit.
Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time, of course, one of my favorite songs of all time. I made a short film in film class in high school, and opening credits were just a dude breakdancing to that song.
Well, it's a great song, so I'm glad you made to it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs. So Travolta changing it to Potty All the Time, I think, is very funny. And then he also went for Fight for Your Right to Potty.
Yeah, that was still in the zeitgeist. The Beasties. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like maybe we should be, that's years ago. Shouldn't we do it? Like, it should be like Check It Out, Check Your Head or something for that record.
Is that out yet, though? I don't know.
Listen, all y'all, it's a potty Taj. Listen, all y'all, it's a potty Taj.
Yeah, that would have worked if he was more prescient as to what they would be writing in 1994.
No, I'm pretty sure that record came out in 92.
Sabotage?
Check Your Head with Sabotage, yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah, and then they didn't release another record till Hello Nasty in 98 with Intergalactic.
Oh my God! Is Sure Shot on Check Your Head?
Yeah, pretty sure.
And What You Want?
Yeah.
Wow, what a record!
Yeah, great record.
God damn.
I'm looking it up right now, Henry. Check It Out by the Beastie Boys. Their third album came out April 21st, 1992, sir. But you know what? It doesn't have all the songs you mentioned. It has So What You Want. It doesn't have What album is Sabotage on?
Well, I don't know. That's why I felt it was a little later.
Is there another album from that period?
I think there is, because Sure Shot and Sabotage, I felt like were around the same 94-ish.
Is this interesting to anybody but us?
Probably. I'm going to assume yes.
Oh, I fucking forgot about Ill Communication. That was another record that came out between Check Your Head and Hello Nasty. Of course. That has Sabotage, and that has Sure Shot.
What year?
94.
Thank you very much.
Right.
I was right.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's quite right. I'm glad I was right about that. I just remember the video being on all the time when I was...
So it should be, so poop it, all it out. Well, that's Sure Shot. All right, next up, there's an insane fantasy sequence. Baby Mikey. There's a lot of fantasy sequences in this one.
A lot of fantasy sequences in both these movies, especially the second one. The second one had one that was so long that I actually got very invested in.
It's the best part of the movie. It's the best part of any of the Look Who's Talking movies.
Agreed.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm excited to talk about it.
I don't know that that's happened in an extremely long time.
That we've agreed on anything?
The best scene in any of 3 movies.
It stands out. It's so special. It's like that scene in Westworld where he like dances. Remember the Yul Brynner dance sequence in Future World? It just stands out so much.
Yeah, and I didn't want to leave it because the world that it put me back into was not a world I wanted to be in. So
I wanted to. I see what you're saying. Yeah. But this fantasy sequence is great because baby Mikey is very excited about being an older brother at this point. Okay, so we get into his head, his great baby head, and what he's imagining as a baby is himself pushing around his new sister all over town while George Harrison's "I've Got My Mind Set on You" plays in the background from his classic Cloud 9 album.
So fucking irritating.
I love that fucking song.
Throw that shit in there. I remember Weird Al's parody of it.
Potty all the time?
No, Weird Al's parody of "I Got My Mind Set on You." You don't remember it?
No. What was the parody?
Because when it came out as a kid, I didn't know the Harrison song. I only knew the Weird Al version. It's called "This Song Is Just 6 Words Long."
What?
Yeah.
Really?
It's just 6 words long. This song is just 6 words long.
That's so funny.
That's what I remember.
Hang on.
Always.
I'm gonna play it.
All right. Weird Al.
Even Worse, which is a parody of Bad by Michael Jackson.
I owned it on cassette. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, after that, it's time to give birth to the baby, I guess. I don't know. What is happening in this movie? Kirstie Alley finds some crack pipes in the park, so that makes them think the city's dangerous. And then...
Yeah, it's looking crack, like she first picks it up, and I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking like a tiny beaker.
It looks like one of those little plastic Rolos they put a Black and Mild in.
I ought to know about that.
Yeah. But all right, let's talk about the cousin or the brother, right? Kirstie Alley's got a brother who shows up in town.
MVP.
He's your MVP.
Just because it's Elias Koteas, I like him, and it was just like, oh, that's
Elias.
good. I'm glad he's here.
You don't pronounce that Elias? Like a normal person?
I never knew if it's Elias Koteas.
I'm pretty sure nobody goes by Elias.
Elias Koteas, Elias Koteas.
Yes, of course. You'll know him as Casey Jones, the hockey player who beats up people in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies.
You'll also know him from basically anything.
Well, anything with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle in it.
He's great, man. Who doesn't love him? He's fucking great. Breakfast Club. He's got some great scenes in the Breakfast.
What? Are you thinking of John Capellas?
100%. 100%.
What is happening?
Sorry. Hey, I just put a Weird Al reference out, all right? My chi is off.
But what else is Elias Koteas in that you're so excited about?
Zodiac.
The what?
Zodiac.
What, the Fincher movie?
Yes, Shutter Island.
Okay.
The Fincher movie? No, the made-for-TV one.
You know, I did get for Christmas that new Fincher book, the book about all of Fincher's movies.
Excuse me? I didn't know about this book existing.
I'll give it to you when I'm done.
No.
It's all right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It digs through all of his movies, like very detailed essays about all of his movies, including Mindhunter.
Oh my! Is it like one of those Kubrick books? Like I have, like the big one with the photos.
Yeah, I used to have a Wes Anderson one. I still have it somewhere. Yeah, it's like that.
Wow, like a coffee table book. Holy shit! I might have to just buy it. I don't know. All right,
you should have it. It's right up your alley.
All right.
Elias Koteas, Casey Jones from the Ninja Turtles movies. If you didn't know, he shows up and he's an accountant. So you know what family he belongs to. Kirstie Alley's family. They're all accountants.
The Alley family.
Yeah. And he walks right through the door, and he's like, hey, listen, fuck these Orientals. I hate these fucking Asian pieces of shit with their stupid little sticks that they eat with and their straw hats. I fucking hate them.
Yeah, it's the first line I believe he has in the movie.
Yeah, and Kirstie Alley's like, what are you talking about? I thought you were like working for Sony or something. And he's just like, not anymore.
Yeah. A very 1990.
Do we hear the word Orientals more in this film or License to Kill?
In License to Kill, I told you I counted because of your review. It's just twice.
You miscounted.
It's twice. In this movie, that makes up for the only time. Because I think in this movie, he only says it once, but we get other things.
All right, so we're also in these two movies dealing with a lot of John Travolta job drama.
I
don't know why. I don't know who walked away from the first movie saying, I want to know more about his job.
Yeah, also, well, he might have had some say in that, like, because he was a cabbie, and I would have been fine with him being a cabbie just for the duration, but I guess he really wanted to be in a plane.
In the first one, he's a cabbie, but he's training to be a pilot. He says he's, like, logging hours up in a plane.
Yeah, so then he immediately, as I think it works this way. As soon as you log the amount of hours required to be a pilot, you automatically have a great chance of becoming a commercial airline pilot.
Well, as we were talking about before the show, when we were discussing why our show is unsuccessful, why the franchise doesn't seem to gain listeners, right. One of the things is we don't know anybody. We just have no connections whatsoever, neither of us. And
Correct.
The fact of the matter is, John Travolta in this movie gets this fucking pilot job through Kirstie Alley's parents.
You are absolutely right. That's right. You're right.
She's like, they're all accountants, but I guess they're doing the accounting for an airline somewhere.
That was a funny scene because I could not relate to
Travolta turning down the job. I know. If anybody ever gave me any bullshit opportunity, I would immediately say yes.
Me too. And, the only thing I could relate to in his situation, because I've been there, the only thing was having your significant other tell you that you need to get a better job and you don't make enough money, and even being passive aggressive about it if not directly.
But you know what? My significant other is allowed to say that to me if she can find me a better job.
That is a great point.
You know what? Then you're allowed. If you can't, if it's up to me to find me a better job, I'm sorry. There's nothing fucking out there. Fuck you. Shut up. All right? And your parents could fucking shut up too. All right? But the fact of the matter is, if that's the offer on the table, like my parents want to get you an opportunity as a pilot, or like in my case, I don't know, like if I was dating a girl and her parents were like, hey, you can work in the mailroom at Audible, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah. If I was dating somebody and then they said, hey, my parents own a music studio, they could hire you as a studio guitarist. It's like, it pays really well. It might
you
be
can
boring.
You can wipe Scott Aukerman's ass for minimum wage. I'd be like, all right.
Yeah, no, you raise a good point, because none of the people that we have that has never been presented as an option.
No, those people have just said make more money, and I'd have been like, I'd like to.
A little help here.
Yeah.
So you make a great point. So I did not understand Travolta in that sequence at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's now a private jet captain. Private jets. He's not working really for an airline. He's just sort of like going to the tarmac when people need him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem to like the job, but like, then Kirstie Alley's like, but you're making money. And he's like, I guess I am. And then it's resolved. They never talk about it again for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. That could be very true. That actually just made me wonder if that is truly what it's like to be a private pilot. Like, are you like a doctor who just gets fucking paged in the middle of the night?
Yeah, I think that you are. I think that's what it is.
Crazy. Wow.
But that's how the rich people have set up the world, Henry. If you work for the rich, you matter less. Okay?
I work for corrupt, greedy, rich people. I don't have any benefit
That's
like
at a corporate level, you know? Like, I work for rich people. They are my immediate higher-ups. You know, I work directly for them. And, you know, I'm not a person when I'm there.
Right.
All right?
Like,
when you talk to me, it's like, oh, wow, that guy seems to have, like, a point of view and things to say and, like, you know, feelings and things like that. And you know, he like, gets up every day and, like, lives his life and then goes to sleep. Whereas when rich people look at me and they're like, that's my doorman. And that's the beginning and end of it. I exist at their door. Okay? And then it's like, I have walked by these people on the street 30 seconds after leaving that job, and they don't recognize me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Do they don't recognize you or shun you?
No, they don't recognize me. They would nod and hello. They just, once I'm gone from that building, I cease to exist.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good situation we have.
It's great. I love it. All right. Get an H.W. Bush joke. I like that.
Yeah, that was playing on the recurring thing he was always fighting for probably the last 12 years of his career, that he was a wimp.
Yeah. Well, he was. I could kick the shit out of George H.W. Bush.
Well, he's dead now. Of course you could.
I would love to. I'd love to curb stomp that fucking corpse.
H.W.?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I don't like him either. But,
You worked for Reagan. Reagan ruined this country.
Reagan is the second worst president in the history of the world.
I think, yeah, he's the worst. He's the second worst. You're right.
I think he's worse than W, but that's just me. Yeah.
At one point, we get a commercial for WWF Wrestling Buddies. I really popped for that.
That was crazy. I think I had a couple of those. Those were the bigger ones, right?
They're these big pillow-sized things,
Yes,
and you're supposed to, like, throw them around and wrestle them and shit, or you can sleep on
I
them.
had a couple of those. Yep.
The big ones, I never had one, but my friends all had them. I would always see Hogan, Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior. Those were the three everyone had. I don't know if they made more, but those were the three I saw.
I'm pretty sure I had Hogan, even though he wasn't my favorite wrestler, but I'm pretty sure I had Hogan. Yeah, the figurines were way cooler, though. I mean, fuck it. Come on now.
Well, yeah.
80s, that was the way to go, you know. But.
I think that's right. I had a few of the figures. I had, like, a Hacksaw Jim Duggan action figure.
Oh, I had them all, man. One of my earliest Christmas memories, now that we're speaking of Christmas, and it's Christmas episode, as it's been festive and happy so far, is it was probably Christmas morning 1985. I would have probably been, by those calculations, I believe I would have been 7 years old. And I came down the staircase, and in the living room, Santa Claus had brought me the WWF wrestling ring.
Yeah.
And Santa had placed...
We couldn't all be that lucky.
...certain of the wrestler figures in there for me.
Who was in there?
I don't
Bob Backlund.
Big John Studd.
Big John Studd! The winner of the second ever Royal Rumble?
And I had them all, man. That was my jam. I remember that, though. That very distinct memory. Almost 40 years ago.
Great stuff. Great stuff, Henry. Why don't you get back into wrestling? I feel like you'd love it.
I'll still watch an old match.
No, I mean now. Like the guys now.
I can't get into it now.
I think you'd love it.
It's not... I don't know.
All right. Maybe if we ever live together again, I'll show you some wrestling.
You school me.
Yeah. All right. At this point in the movie, she gave birth a while ago. Roseanne's been walking around, whatever. Fucking Mikey realizes he's been jealous of the baby. All right? Yeah. And you know that Mikey feels that way because on the soundtrack they start to play the song "Jealous Guy" by John Lennon.
Oh, I don't know if I Caught that. Okay. There's so much fucking music in these
And it's
movies.
all boomer music.
It all is. I mean, there's so much. I just, at a certain point, it felt like it was a continuous song, so I just started to tune it out.
Oh, you don't remember this beautiful montage? He doesn't mean to hurt you, Henry. He didn't mean to make you cry. This played during Look Who's Talking 2, Henry. This played, this song, when Mikey was feeling jealous of the baby. Unbelievable.
Don't remember.
You don't know. I feel like you'd like John Lennon's solo more than the Beatles, maybe.
I do.
Okay, alright.
But what I said stands. There's so much music. It's wall-to-wall music in this movie, and it's just like, it becomes numbing.
Alright, whatever. Anyway, fucking Travolta is like all pissed off about the whole brother living there situation, and now Twink Kaplan's coming over and hooking up with the brother, and he hates his job, and he's fighting with Kirstie Alley a lot, so they break up. She kicks him out of the house, and we get a lot more montages of him being depressed. He drinks and drives for a second, which is treated just as like a thing you do when you're depressed, and not like an incredibly dangerous thing that could kill people.
Sure.
Yeah, he dances to Elvis because, you know, you have to have Travolta dance in all these movies.
He's still dancing. We mentioned it in the first one as a like sort of a thing we weren't expecting, and then it just popped in there. And now it's in the second one.
Yeah,
it's in the third one. It's just a thing that he did.
It's a feature of the franchise.
Correct.
Yeah. So I mean, this brings us to the end of the movie, which is honestly not where I thought this movie would end up. When the movie began as a movie about babies talking,
yeah,
I was like, never in my mind could I have predicted, Henry, that the final confrontation of the film would be Elias Koteas versus a cat burglar.
I wouldn't have predicted that either. Fire started.
A fire is started. Yeah, the burglar uses a high-tech device to create a circle in the window.
Do you know what I was thinking about when he did that?
Felicia Hardy, the black cat?
No.
Who?
I was thinking about... No, what I was thinking about. I was thinking, I gotta get me one of those.
It is a good device, right? How much do those cost?
I don't know. They're probably not legal.
I think to be a successful cat burglar, you gotta know people.
Yeah, you have to have devices like that.
We don't have connections, Henry.
No, we don't. You know what I asked somebody? I literally asked them, I remember this, about 6 months ago at work. I said, you know what I really need, and I'd really like for my car? I really want one of the shimmy things.
Oh, yeah.
And my friend said to me, you can't fucking get those, man. Those are illegal.
But, like, you can probably. Like, you don't think you can go on the dark web? Like, you have to know what they're called, maybe.
Yeah.
How do you get one?
A mechanic would tell me what it's called. I just need to get one.
You're in Jersey. You could find some spurious mechanic who works for the mob.
Probably my mechanic that I use is probably spurious. So I could...
What's his name? Vito?
No, why is it to be Italian?
Because Italians are in the mob in New Jersey. I learned that from The Sopranos.
Armando? No, I don't know. I don't know what his name is. I'm not saying my mechanic's name on here.
What is it? What Italian name is it?
It's not. I think there's a few. I deal with a few guys at the same place. It's like a mom and pop
Giuseppe.
shop. No, it's like fucking Rick or something like that. Yeah.
I got a rich Rick in my building. He only had to change the K. You know, he
Drop the K.
Drop the K, add the H. You're a rich guy now.
Yeah. Ricky Schroeder. Is it Ricky Schroeder?
It's not Ricky Schroeder, no. Unfortunately, I would love to serve Ricky Schroeder every day.
Pretty cool.
What's he doing these days?
Is he alive?
Ricky Schroeder? I'm sure he is. Like, he had a big comeback. He took over for Caruso on NYPD Blue, remember?
I just wouldn't be so sure, you know. We always think that, and then we find out they died a horrific death or something.
Hey, is that guy we fucking hated from Barnes & Noble still alive? You know, from Life Goes On?
That's a great point. Corky?
Yeah, Corky.
What was his name?
I hated him. What was his name?
We ducked for cover many times. Chris Burke.
Chris Burke, of course. Chris Burke. We hated that guy.
He is still alive. And
what a shame.
In Point Lookout, New York.
What is he doing?
He's living in Point Lookout, New York.
Where's that?
Nassau County.
Yeah. In 1992, he starred in Jonathan, the boy nobody wanted. Well, he was the customer nobody wanted.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. He was born in Nassau County. He's not. He lives in Manhattan. He must live in Manhattan. He was in our fucking store.
Yeah, he's probably still going to fucking the Barnes & Noble in Union Square every goddamn day, annoying the shit out of everybody.
And just being rich as a motherfucker.
Oh, my God. If I created a worldwide genocide, Henry, he would be one of the first 10 names I would choose.
There'd be quite a few old customers from that joint, but
not me. Like the customers, even the annoying ones, they were always just annoying. That was the only guy where I was like, "Fuck this guy."
Yeah. Would Gregory Davis be on the list?
No, he was just annoying.
Oh, you ducked for cover.
Yeah, because I don't want to like get into a long conversation with him where he's at. Say hello to your family for me. Oh. Yeah. But, like, you know, and he's blind, so you can ditch him. But, like, I don't want the guy dead.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on Cork. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Burke.
You remember what I did in
Hey, if anybody ever meets Chris Burke, tell him Daniel Ehrenberg fucking hates him.
You remember when he came in and we all scattered like fucking roaches, and the only place I had to go, because you guys took the good hiding spots, I hid in the storefront window facing the 18th Street. Do you remember that day?
That's hilarious.
I jumped over the CD
Did
rack.
Did he see you?
No, good. I made it. We were all in the clear.
Who helped him?
I don't know. He got stuck with somebody. But I know you and me and one other of our comrades got out, but I had nowhere to go. You guys took the good space, so I was in the CD.
Yeah, I think I just went into the back.
Yeah, but I couldn't. My trajectory wasn't. I couldn't make it in time.
Yeah,
so
you can't be caught with like a bunch of people in the back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I was in the window. I knocked over like the international section. They all like plummeted.
All right, so fucking Elias Koteas fights this cat burglar, and the kitchen gets set on fire, and Mikey saves his sister, so you know he's no longer jealous. They love each other, and
elevator too.
What?
Down on the elevator, like he knows how to hit the buttons and get to the elevator, so he's not entirely stupid.
Kids all know how to use elevators because they love buttons.
They all hit buttons. I don't know if they know how to get to the main floor.
What, you just press all the fucking buttons. They said that the fire was contained to the kitchen, so it wouldn't have mattered if it opened on other floors.
It was one of those famous Manhattan contained fire kitchen fires where it didn't go to any other place in the apartment. And you're right. They did say that.
Yeah, I was willing to buy it in the moment, but you're right. Hindsight, it's fucking weird.
If 1/4 centimeter of our old apartment caught fire, that entire fucking place would have been up in flames.
That building would be tinder.
Swipe right.
Oh, Henry. All right, so, I mean, that's the movie. What do you give it?
1 star. It was awful. Dreck.
I'm also going to give it 1.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
I think I'm going to give the next one 2, though. I was planning on giving them both 1, but I don't think I can.
1 stars, spoiler, they both are heinous.
Who's your MVP of this one?
Elias Koteas.
Oh, right, of course. I'll go with Roseanne.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And who's your LVP?
Boy.
Oh, I
Let's
know.
see. Oh, you know what? I don't mind this guy in certain roles. I like him in Beverly Hills Cop 2 and but he made no sense to me. He's Gilbert Gottfried in this.
Oh, I love Gilbert. He was great in this movie. I'll go with Mel Brooks.
That's a good one.
Yeah, a repulsive scene that I never needed to see. Mel Brooks in 1990 might have been at the lowest point of his career. He sucked in 1990.
That's a bad point.
Like Mel Brooks, fucking awesome through the 60s and 70s, just fucking awesome. Everything he did, awesome. Then like the 80s, it gets a little spottier, but like still pretty awesome. I hate Spaceballs, but a lot of people like that movie. And
it's funny.
And then like early 90s when it's like Robin Hood, Men in Tights, and Life Stinks, and this, and he's doing guest appearances on Mad About You. It is brutal, dude. And, you know, and then he got it all back with the Producers musical.
Oh, I was going to say he got it all, well, sure, professionally, yes.
Yeah.
But I was making Henry laugh. He got it all back in Curb, season 4.
Well, in many ways, that is the Producers musical.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right, but like that, he himself is funny in that.
I couldn't. I don't think he himself, like in interviews, ever stopped being funny. He's just an inherently funny dude. But for some reason, he could not translate that on screen in that time period.
Weird period for him.
Yeah. All right, let's discuss. Did you have an LVP? Did you say it?
Yeah, I liked yours.
Gilbert, right?
But I said Gilbert. Yeah, he's irritating.
All right, let's talk about the third one. Let's wrap up this trilogy, Henry.
Gladly. Yes.
Look Who's Talking Now with an exclamation mark. We don't see a lot of those.
No, it's got a paw as the dot under the rectangle, the vertical rectangle of the exclamation point.
That's a clever bit, right?
I thought so. I didn't notice that in the poster the poodle has a red bow.
That's so you know it's a girl.
Okay. Now, in the movie, did she have a red bow in her head?
No. But you know it's a girl on the poster. That way you're looking at the poster. You're like, oh, it's a boy girl. It's a boy dog and a girl dog.
You wouldn't figure that out because it's a poodle because there are male poodles.
But you'd figure it out because of the bow.
That's what I am agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were arguing.
Jesus Christ. Fucking get this guy some Ritalin.
Ritalin? I think that's the last thing I need.
Yeah, it calms you down.
I guess. I'm a little worked up. All right. We have a new team in place for this movie. All right?
Yes.
New writer-director Tom Ropolowski. All right? And now he got the job through, I assume, a film he made 3 years earlier entitled Madhouse, which stars Kirstie Alley and John Larroquette.
Saw it in theaters.
I saw it very recently for the first time ever, Henry.
Well, I just recall that it was terrible. But
It is terrible. I'm sorry to recall. You know, I saw it, I was like, Kirstie Alley, John Larroquette, that could be good.
Yeah, I understand.
You know?
For a 1990 romp.
In 1990, right? Like, that's like, you know, she's Rebecca. He's in Night Court at that point. I don't remember his character's name.
Dan, you know it's Dan.
Yeah, go ahead. Here,
I
looked it up. It's Dan Fielding, but good job.
Thank you.
All right, so he made Madhouse. He's also credited with writing the film Loverboy with which Kirstie Alley is in?
Yep.
Oh, so look at this. You got to know people. And Tom Ropolowski knew Kirstie Alley.
It's all about connections this episode.
It really is, you know? And again, Henry and I just have zero fucking connections and have failed in life entirely.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So, am I cheering you up?
The listeners or me?
You.
When you speak the truth, I have I have no objection to the truth.
Okay, so Tom Ropolowski felt he didn't think that he could write this movie by himself. You know, it's too big a task. So he recruited his much more talented wife, Leslie Dixon, to help him with the project.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Leslie Dixon had written Overboard, which is an actually good movie, and after this trek, went on to do Mrs. Doubtfire, The Thomas Crown Affair, The Freaky Friday remake, a few good movies.
She also
Created Limitless, Give Me That Pill.
That's a fun movie. I like Limitless.
I'm going to watch it soon for the first time.
Bradley Cooper, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I like that movie. I saw one of her movies in the theater. I remember it had a rather, for a 9-year-old, because I was 9, had a rather explicit sex scene with Shelley Long in it and Peter Coyote, Outrageous Fortune.
Oh, yeah. You know, in Look Who's Talking 2, John Travolta says he gets one fuck. Did you notice that? What was the point of that? Why put that in the movie?
Very odd. I almost feel like that was an edit mistake.
No, they wouldn't leave a fuck in by mistake. It wasn't even a background fuck. It was like, he's saying fuck.
Yeah, well, who's really in the editing room for a movie like this? Did anyone care? You know?
They did. You know, there's a product they're putting out there. All right. I've seen almost everything Leslie Dixon's ever written. You know, I didn't even, you know, I only mentioned her good movies, but she also wrote the Heartbreak Kid remake with Ben Stiller. She wrote the Hairspray musical version. She wrote Just Like Heaven, where Reese Witherspoon comes back as a ghost and romances Mark Ruffalo. By the way, if you don't want to end up as a ghost, don't work with Reese Witherspoon.
Is that right?
It's a curse.
Oh, boy.
You heard about Jean-Marc Vallée?
I know who that is, but no.
The guy who directed the first season of Big Little Lies, Wild, and Sharp Objects. That guy died suddenly this week. All right?
Whoa.
Died suddenly.
I liked Sharp Objects very much. I liked, that's it.
Big Little Lies was good.
I couldn't stomach after the richiness, the rich yuppie thing.
Well, whatever. All right, then think about this. Who directed the majority of Little Fires Everywhere with Reese Witherspoon?
That I saw.
Who directed that?
I remember.
Lynn Shelton, a young lady who is now dead.
No.
Don't work with Reese Witherspoon. Save yourself.
Reese.
Hey, if Reese is the one you know, get out of there. Don't know her anymore.
If Reese becomes someone we somehow meet, and she's our connection,
I'd still do it.
Even though it meant certain death in the future.
I mean, I'm probably gonna fucking be dead in the next couple of years anyway. So, I mean, that can only prolong my life.
So it's like you meet her, you kind of know you're gonna die pretty quickly, but then you could really die anyway.
And you might die successful.
You might be able to die successful, leave your family something.
Yeah.
Leave a leg.
Is that what John... Leave a leg? What is that referencing?
Legacy.
Oh, a legacy. Nice. Shortening it. All right.
So she knows Travolta and Kirsty from... She knows Kirsty from Loverboy and Madhouse, and she knows Travolta. She worked with him in Hairspray, so that's after, obviously. But so they're buds. They're all buddies.
You think Travolta took that job in Hairspray because it's like, oh, the woman who wrote Look Who's Talking Now was involved in this? I'm in.
I don't know why he took that gig.
It was a good role for him.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that helped his career rather than hurt it.
Didn't help me want to see it.
Well, I don't think you were ever going to see that movie.
I was never going to see it. No.
All right. So... I mean, it's Look Who's Talking Now. Let's talk about... Oh, wait, I didn't do the rest of the stats and shit. Sorry. All right, so this movie came out November 5th, 1993, on a budget of $22 million. It only made 10. It fucking tanked, bro. And came in at number 109 at the box office between Stephen King's The Dark Half and Wesley Snipes' Boiling Point.
I saw The Dark Half in theaters, so it got my money.
This got my money. I saw Look Who's Talking Now in theaters.
Makes sense. You were 7.
Yeah, we went as a family. We all saw this.
Of course.
Yeah. All right, so let's catch up with the team. All right? The kids are now, like, old enough to talk. I don't think they think as adults anymore. That's
Right.
gone away. That, like...
So it's retrofitted. Yeah, like in their brains have retrofitted their intelligence. Like they're
Yeah.
very smart when they're babies, and then when they become toddlers, they're stupid.
They lose
Which, to be
that.
perfectly honest, is probably kind of how it goes.
That is a theory people have.
What's that?
That, like, babies are born with, like, some sort of, like, inherent intelligence, and they know, like, how the world was created and will end and stuff, and then they just forget that information when they grow older. I remember I learned that in philosophy class. I don't know why I ever took a philosophy class.
I took philosophy class. It was very good.
Worthless.
Obviously. I remember I got into an argument with my TA, of course, didn't get a professor for that class in college, at a party. We happened to be at the same fucking party, and I knew he was a big fan of Martin Heidegger. Have you ever heard of him?
I've heard the name.
Yeah, so he was an active Nazi, and I started to
Oh, so you're a fan.
I said the argument was I was telling this TA he was writing his thesis on Martin Heidegger, and I said I do not understand how you can write a thesis on Heidegger and put any value in what the man says about humanity, philosophy, life, or anything, since he was an active Nazi and an anti-Semite. How does that square up in philosophy and taking anything he says at all seriously?
Well, I mean, people are more than their political beliefs, Henry.
And he just kept fighting me back and saying they were separate things, and I said, no, they're not, especially in philosophy.
I mean, it is, but you've probably made that same argument about, like, I mean, maybe not in years, but, like, back then you might have made the same argument about, like, Roman Polanski or Woody Allen.
Nazi, though?
I mean, Roman Polanski's basically a Nazi, right?
No. I'm saying that philosophy, he's a philosopher who's a Nazi, so how does that work? His means he believes inherently in something that is...
I don't know. I believe that you can be interested in something without agreeing with it. I mean, you watch movies about Nazis all the time.
It's World War II I'm watching about.
Yeah, but I mean, who's the star of World War II? If it's not the Allies, it's the Nazis.
It's the Allies are the stars.
Well, the Nazis are the main villains.
Okay.
You know, you love Batman because Joker's the main villain. You love World War II movies because Nazis are. They're just as good. Those are my favorite villains. Joker and Nazis.
My point. I was trying to make I was fighting the good fight and probably lost because he wrote his thesis and now he's making probably 6-figure salary as a professor anyway. So.
No, I understand what you're doing, and thank you for. Listen.
I had the back.
Intellectuals agree with Nazis. They just do.
How does it? Where'd you come up with that?
I just think that, like, anti-Semitism is fine. If you're not Jewish, anti-Semitism is A-okay. You will never be shit on for it.
Oh, well, that's a separate thing.
Yeah.
You're talking about being overlooked constantly.
No, that's what I'm saying. It is just accepted in this country. You can be anti-Semitic. It's fine. I can't be transphobic. That's not allowed.
Yeah.
But you can be anti-Semitic.
I told you how people like to skirt it by talking about, they always couch it and saying that really talking about Hasidics and Orthodox Jews.
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's the scapegoat. It's the tile scapegoat. Yeah.
All right.
What a discussion.
Great. All right. So we start with, like, they're, just hanging out in their apartment or whatever. But then we, like, pan outside through the bedroom window and catch up with some dogs down on the fucking street.
That's not how I thought the movie would begin or start.
No, I thought they'd be adopting dogs. I didn't realize we were dealing with stray dogs.
Yeah, I don't know why they went that route. I thought they'd go to the fucking shelter or in their case,
Well, ultimately
whatever.
they do, but we set up the dogs for like a half hour before that happens.
up for Rocks, especially.
Yeah.
Rocks gets a set
Well,
up.
he gets a whole origin sequence. We meet his mom before we meet him.
Meet his mom.
His mom's on the street, and she's like, I'm just a dog. I'm a stray dog. And then this other dog comes up and is like, I'm going to mount you and fuck the shit out of you. And this dog's like, no, thank you. I don't want that. And then she gets raped pretty much. And Rox is born, and it's Danny DeVito. Yeah, I know, but because they're using human voices, they are expressing human ideas.
He says he uses the excuse that he's going to the vet tomorrow, and so he elicits pity from the Cocker Spaniel.
Mm-hmm.
Who then he says something like "bingo" or "hooray" or and he knows he's going to get laid.
Yeah, we also get doggy perspective for the first time in this sequence. We get a little bit of dog POV in this movie, and I noticed that they shot it identically to the sequence where they go down to the south in Spike Lee's Crooklyn.
That's interesting you say that. I thought that it looked exactly like any movie you've ever seen by Tom Hooper.
Oh, does he like that technique?
The fisheye lens kind of thing. Yeah, certainly.
Oh, yeah, sure. Les Mis, there's a ton of that.
Loves the fisheye lens. John Adams, Les Mis, King's Speech.
I forgot he did John Adams.
It's a problem.
That's like the only movie he's ever made where things look dirty.
I never thought of that. Les Mis doesn't look dirty?
No, I feel like everything looks clean and everything. Everything's always super clean.
It's got the fisheye going there.
All right. Let's catch up with the kids. Mikey, they're older. Mikey's David Gallagher from Seventh Heaven now.
Okay.
Did you know him?
No.
He played Simon, the middle son, on Seventh Heaven.
I've fucking never seen that show in my life.
All right, but I'm just saying, this is a famous child actor we're looking at here.
At least he lived.
I'm loving this. And as you know, I have a friend, a very close friend named David Gallagher.
You do
and
indeed?
I like to pretend that he and this guy are the same person.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, let's catch up on their jobs, because the vast majority, ultimately, of this Look Who's Talking franchise is about Kirstie Alley and John Travolta's occupations.
It is a lot about that. In fact, we left the animals for one period in this movie so long, I wasn't sure we were coming back.
Oh, I forgot that in the dog sequence at the beginning, they play Hound Dog, because that's a good song by Elvis Presley.
It went on. That's the thing too about these movies, is that they don't just play a blip.
No, it's the entire song. Because every song in the 50s was 2.5 minutes long. So they just we need to hear the entirety of Wooly Bully in this movie.
It's tough.
All right,
this was tough for me.
The Hound Dog shit. What do you like better? The use of Hound Dog in this or Forrest Gump? What do you prefer? Oh.
Wow. Why? That's like Sophie's Choice. Why do that to me?
I mean, Sophie's Choice was easier, right? You just pick the girl. You send the son to be killed. Who cares?
I can't. I mean, I don't ever want to sit through either of these movies again. So,
I watched both Sophie's Choice and Look Who's Talking now in 2021.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've seen Sophie's Choice in an extremely long time.
All right. Travolta is back to driving a cab. Search me. I could not explain it. All right.
I could not explain that. I couldn't explain why they owned the cab and took it home to their apartment when usually cabbies, I know they own their cabs. I know that much. I did live in New York. But I was aware that they usually brought them home and parked them in front of their own houses. And they have them at their disposal. It's like their car. They just use this cab.
No, it's true. Kirstie Alley drives it just to go places. Like the cabin.
It'd be kind of annoying because I feel like people would be flagging you down all the time. You have to be like...
Yeah, Phoebe had one in Friends, and that was a joke. She inherited her grandmother's taxi cab.
A joke that would be in that show.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was a funny show, and...
Yeah. It's not big on subtlety.
Yeah, I know. Your opinions matter about that show. So Travolta, he's not only driving a cab, he's also trying to be a corporate pilot for like some British lady.
Well, this is like him again, still being kind of a private, though, right? Private pilot.
Yeah, he's a private pilot, but it's essentially for a corporation that has assigned her to this one woman, played by Lisette Anthony, from Husbands and Wives.
I knew her from.
Yeah, that's all I know her from too.
Is she in Husbands and Wives? She's the one Sidney Pollack goes for. He leaves Judy Davis for her.
I think that's right.
That's all I could place her. It's the only role in that movie I could think of her as.
She's in Dracula Dead and Loving It, Mel Brooks' great film from this era, but I don't remember her being in that. Okay. Oh, she posed nude in Playboy in 1988, so look for that. Henry, she posed nude in Playboy in 1988.
Yeah, no, I just needed the year again.
Oh, sure. 88 is the year, Henry.
To be honest, she doesn't do anything for me.
I mean, she doesn't do nothing for me. She does a little something.
Well, they always do a little something. Yeah. Kirsty's way more beautiful.
I'll leave her.
Oh, you can leave her wherever you want.
You can have her. So
capital steps.
Speaking of, good point. Speaking of Kirstie Alley, she has been fired from her accountant job, right? And instead of getting a job as another accountant or, another high-paying job because she's got a great resume and her parents are accountants and her parents are apparently powerful enough accountants that they can hire a private pilot for their friends.
Very true.
So Kirstie Alley is working as an elf in the mall at Christmas time.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like something that would happen to us.
No, it's not something that would happen to anybody. No person has ever gone from accountant to Christmas elf. That's not a thing.
I mean, in between college and Barnes and Noble, because that was a step up.
You were never an accountant.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But I delivered flowers for a few days. I delivered beer.
Yeah, that's us. I would be an elf. But I'm not Kirstie Alley.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to be an elf, so I couldn't do it.
I mean, it's no more demeaning and dehumanizing than the job I have now.
Oh, please. Give me a break. You get to watch movies all day.
You don't know what my job is like.
I don't, but I'm sure it's very demeaning. But, I mean, you think it's more demeaning than being an elf in a mall?
No, I think it's the same. Okay. I think I just make like $3 more an hour than she does.
1993 minimum wage, $4.75 an hour, so it's pretty low.
Yeah, it was when I first started working. I was making a minimum wage. It was $5.75.
That's fucking sad because when you first started working, that must have been like what, 2001, 2002?
Something like that. Yeah, I was 15.
Yeah, when I was 18, my starting pay was $4.75.
Horrible.
Okay. I feel like we're doing everything we can possibly do to not talk about these movies.
Well, I want to talk about this movie, Henry.
Okay, rocks.
All right, so Kirstie's working as an elf, and Travolta takes the kids to see the Santa. If I'm that family, and my kids still don't believe Santa Claus is like not real,
yeah,
I wouldn't take them to the one I'm working at. Like, I just think that would require too much explanation. And then promptly, they lose track of Mikey, Simon Camden from Seventh Heaven, and he immediately walks back and sees the fucking Santa Claus, like, taking his beard off and like, chatting on the phone, and freaks out. And then, from this point on, for the rest of the movie, this Mikey kid is just a fucking drip. Just a downer. Just a fucking twat. Ruining the rest of the movie for everybody else.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the talking Mikey.
I liked him at first. I was like, hey, I like you, Simon Camden. You were far from my least favorite Camden. That's Jessica Biel. But, eventually it's just a bummer.
All right.
Or I guess the worst Camden is Stephen Collins, considering he touched kids, right?
Oh, Stephen Collins.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's the Camdens. It's Stephen Collin, Catherine Hicks from Child's Play, this kid, Jessica Biel, Barry Watson from Teaching Mrs. Tingle, and I don't know, a little girl too.
Okay.
Seventh Heaven. I guess I don't want to talk about this movie. All right, so
yeah. You know what I do want to talk about? Charles Barkley.
Oh my God, dude!
MVP.
I'm not gonna argue with that for one single second. All right. First of all, look at the fucking. They gave the kid. They make the Roseanne Barr one from the last movie, the little girl, really into basketball in this movie, which is kind of a fun, interesting thing for a kid to be into. Basketball was huge in 1993. The NBA was gigantic, and so. Like, she's walking around, like, wearing sneakers, and she plays with basketball, she likes basketball toys, and she walks around with this Charles Barkley doll.
Yeah.
Which is, like, 1,000 times darker than Charles Barkley is in real life.
I thought that, too.
Yeah.
What is this, Brer Rabbit and the Tar Baby?
I read that when Charles Barkley showed up on set for his cameo, they were worried because they didn't realize it until he showed up, and they were like, "Oh, this is significantly darker."
Where did you read that?
On IMDb Trivia, and I guess Barkley was cool with it. He thought it was funny.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I didn't make the doll. I'm sure the people in the movie set didn't make the doll.
No, they did. They did. It wasn't a real Charles Barkley doll. They manufactured it for the movie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fucking white people.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's this crazy fantasy sequence where the little girl plays basketball one-on-one against Charles Barkley, and then dunks over him.
I didn't like that.
I loved it.
You would like it.
I liked every fantasy sequence in this one.
Yeah. It's so embarrassing. Oh, that poor girl.
All right, Travolta and Kirstie Alley lip sync to that Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas song to try and cheer up Mikey because he's depressed about Santa not being real. And I enjoyed that because I like that song. Made me think of Almost Famous.
You like any Christmas song.
All right, so they go to the fucking pound. Let's talk about something you'll like, Nazis. They go to the pound, and they look for dogs, and all the dogs, you get to hear, like, one line of dialogue from all the dogs. You know, like, they're, like, panning through, and it'll be, like, a cute little dog, like, hey, how about me? You know?
Right.
But did you notice that at one point, they pan past a German Shepherd, and the German Shepherd says, "I will follow orders."
I did not.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, see, the dog, this is a very funny and layered joke. What the dog is saying is that if you adopt me, I will, if you ask me to sit and beg and eat, I'll do all of that, okay?
Yeah.
But also, as a German Shepherd...
Right.
I am good at that because I follow orders. Like, if you asked me to, say, murder Jews, I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was just following orders. Yeah, it's a very funny joke.
I must have missed that because I was focusing on the ethnic group that you always accidentally insult by getting everything wrong about their culture, is the Chihuahua who says, "Pick me, amigo."
Yeah. I noticed that. We cut back to the Chihuahua at one point. He's like, "Oh, poco pico." It's embarrassing. It's a
pico.
I don't know what he actually says, but it's a bummer and it's embarrassing and what I said is as offensive as what happens in this movie.
What you said isn't even close to as offensive.
Okay, well, thank you for saying that.
Jesus.
All right, so they pick up Rocks, which is Danny DeVito. I love Danny DeVito, by the way. I mean, even in this, I love Danny DeVito.
I love Danny DeVito, too, but yeah.
I just caught up on the new season of It's Always Sunny, and that show is still so great.
Yeah, I always liked this show. I never could go past. I made it like 3 or 4 seasons in, and I never thought it got bad.
We're in season 15 now, Henry, and the finale literally made me cry.
I believe you.
Yeah. and I watched it with my mom. I cried in front of my mom.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So what?
What?
That's nice that you cried in front of your ma.
I'm just saying, it takes a lot to get me. Like, I cry constantly when I'm watching movies by myself, but like, it takes a lot. If like, I don't cry that much like when I'm watching with other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only time I can remember is when Rory graduated from high school and I bawled like a baby in front of Katie. In Gilmore Girls. Yeah. Okay. So they bring home Rox, the DeVito dog, but also Travolta's got this hotsy-totsy British woman who he's working for that wants to fuck him. And so she brings them a purebred poodle.
Which I would send right the fuck back out.
Oh, me too. And that's Diane Keaton.
I would not send her out.
Why cast Diane Keaton in a voice role?
Why take Diane Keaton? Why would she take the role?
In what universe would anybody ever... I feel like if I was married to Diane Keaton, I wouldn't recognize her voice.
I mean, I guess when you associate her with her voice, you think more the mannerisms that she has physically. So the voice alone by itself isn't.
You picture her wearing brown and glasses and saying
dropping things.
And what's the thing she says in Annie Hall? You know,
la-di-da,
la-di-da, la-di-da. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
it's an odd choice. But it must have. They must thought it would have bring some parents.
DeVito's happy to see the poodle because when he first sees it, the DeVito dog says "schwing."
Yeah, a surprisingly contemporary Wayne's World reference in a Look Who's Talking Now.
I mean, it's not that contemporary. Wayne's World 2 came out in 1993. It was the tail end of Wayne's World. The tail end, like a dog.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, whatever. All right, let's talk about the fantasy sequence. Henry, we get a Travolta fantasy sequence where he dances. It's just so he can dance. And he's dancing with the sexy lady, right? But then we cut away to another dream sequence with Kirstie Alley. And she is dancing with a sexy Santa Claus. And the sexy Santa Claus is hitting on her. And then it takes off its clothes and it's George Segal. Okay?
Any woman's fantasy.
What a cameo.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I enjoyed the continuity.
He's back.
Yeah, so then it's sort of like we see them... we keep cutting back and forth between the dream sequences where they're dancing with other people, and then Kirstie Alley and John Travolta come together, realizing that they're both dreaming, and they cross over into each other's dreams and do another elaborate dance sequence together.
Like a Fred and Ginger type deal.
Yes, yeah, exactly like that. Yeah. And it's weird.
It's weird. It's very long. It's almost a movie within a movie. But it's not the weirdest thing that happens by the end of this movie. So
what is? The wolves?
No. That would be one of the weirdest things I've seen in the history of all of my viewing in cinema.
Is it Geordie?
Yes.
Oh my god, I can't wait to get to Geordie. I still don't understand what I watched. We'll get to it. All right. So they wake up from their dreams or whatever, and Samantha's the name of Travolta's boss. She gets a cabin for Christmas Eve, but it's a ruse. She lures Travolta out there and then claims that the phone stopped working, and then there's a lucky blizzard so they can't leave. And Kirstie Alley thinks that he's cheating, but Olympia Dukakis is over and she understands that he's not cheating. He's probably because one time her husband was on an island during the war and 8 USO girls tried to fuck him, and he says that it never happened. So you can really trust your significant others.
I'm sure that he didn't do anything.
Yeah. By the way, was it a different dad in this one? He didn't have any lines, and they cut away to him a couple of times, and he did not look like the same person.
Well, I thought it was the same guy. I don't know. I thought it was, but
maybe it was. Who knows? All right. So Kirstie Alley takes the cab to try and get to the cabin where they're staying. All right, but she gets into a car accident like the second they hit bad weather. What a horrible driver she is.
Women drivers.
Great. And then some wolves attack. Oh, just one wolf. A wolf comes out. The wolf talks. It's sort of... I put on Letterboxd, I think the casting call for the wolves said urban.
Yeah, I saw your review before I watched the movie and was expecting that lone wolf to be just like have a quote-unquote black voice.
He did.
I didn't get quite... When they get together and there's a bunch of wolves, then I heard
He's doing it all the time. I wrote it down here, so he must have been. You know, they...
He writes it down. It's gospel.
All right. So he attacks Rox, and Rox takes it on and beats it, but he hurts his leg. Then a cop comes, like a cop shows up and finds them, and like takes them away from the scene of the accident.
How did the cop find them?
I don't remember.
Rox goes eventually to find Travolta. Oh, the poodle goes and gets the cops.
Oh yeah, and then Kirstie Alley's like, "My dog's a genius."
Right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's the other dog who traversed, many miles.
He was able to smell Travolta from like a state away.
Not a compliment.
Yeah. Oh, good one. So I thought it would be a fun, ironic ending if Kirstie Alley ended up fucking that cop that saved them. If, like, after all of that, like, Travolta's not cheating with Samantha and he goes off to find the family and then, like, catches Kirstie Alley in bed with this cop.
Yeah, and then it's like an old 30s comedy or whatever. Whoa, what's going on?
And then they can, like, run out of rooms like Jack Benny. Yeah. All right, so then the wolf returns with backup and I guess some other Crips. And they attack and, whatever.
Travolta's pager goes off and scares the wolves away, and end credits, everyone lives
Well, no end credits yet. They play Have a Little Faith in Me by John Hyatt, a song that always works on me.
That's
Yeah, that's when Travolta finds them. Have a little faith in me. Yeah, that song works on me, okay?
That's it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Then the cop is listening to his radar device and manages to hear Santa flying with his reindeer. So now Mikey's like, well, that's proof. I believe now.
Correct.
So that's great. But then, closing credits.
Then Rod Serling enters the picture.
Henry, what? I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do either, man.
I did a lot of Googling because I could not figure it out.
I was laying down on my couch for most of the movie. So
ready to turn the movie off at the end of it.
Then I leaned up. I was getting in like sort of my post-movie pose where I'm kind of like sitting on the edge of the couch, ready to reach for the remote and just hit power because I needed a break from all media after this. And then I'm staring at the screen, and I see the left side of the screen goes to credits, and the right side
goes to a music video.
A music video of what I'm just walking you through my experience, and you can take over. That what I'm instantly thinking is Mikey dressed in jean clothing and dressed almost like an 11-year-old in 1985. Then I'm realizing, no, that's not Mikey, because Mikey is in the other scene.
He's in the video, too. Like, they got the kids who play Mikey and the girl to be in the video, but who's this third kid?
And then they're in what appears all of this place is taking place in a dollhouse because John Travolta and Kirstie Alley are looking in with their eyeballs into this activity of this what appears to be a 4-5-year-old singing in French.
Yeah.
A Christmas song.
Yeah.
I don't want to say you have to see this, folks, but you have to see this.
Okay, so I had no idea what to do about this.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do.
I got to the end of the movie. I've seen this movie before. I remembered everything. To me, this is a legendary bad movie. I remembered the wolves. All that shit, you know? I remembered the fire in the second one. But then we get to the closing credits of this movie. A music video pops up. What am I watching? It's the two kids from Look Who's Talking Now singing a French Christmas song called It's Christmas, C'est Noël. All right? And I didn't know what to do about it. So I looked it up on the IMDb page. Like, what song are they singing? So it says It's Christmas, C'est Noël, written by a bunch of French people, performed by Jordi. Okay? And I'm like, who the fuck is Jordi?
I'm on Wiki.
All right, so I Googled Jordi. The first thing that comes up is he's dead. All right? Then the second thing I saw was he's not dead. Last year, apparently there was a hoax in France that this kid had died. Like, I guess he was like a big enough star in France in the 90s that people remember him. So 1 year before Look Who's Talking Now came out, this kid Jordi set the Guinness Book of World Records record for the youngest person to ever have a #1 song. All right? At 4.5 years old. This kid, I swear to you.
I'm seeing it on Wiki now. I didn't look last night. I was too disturbed.
Yeah, this kid, fucking Jordi.
Bit of a French Jean Bonnet situation.
But, I mean, he's still around.
I see that. He's 33, the age of Jesus.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know too much beyond that, to be honest.
I don't either. I mean, I don't remember this ever being, I mean, it was just, it made no sense. I mean, nothing in it made sense.
And he raps in the song.
Yeah, he raps. He's like I said, he's got this absurd outfit. He's speaking. Oh no.
Well,
oh god.
I think this is it. I mean, let me skip ahead a little. This is the closing credits of this movie. I want to see if I can find the rap part. Here. It is chaos, this fucking song.
Oh my god!
I forgot that I wanted to give my my MVP for this movie. Oh my god! Hang on, let me see if I can find it. There's a woman, all right, in this movie that has one line, and it is the worst line reading I have ever heard in a movie.
Okay.
All right, I found the scene. All right, the video's gonna play after this ad for Reno 911.
Oh.
That's another show that's just still going. They'll never run out of ideas.
How could you?
Ugh, so annoying. All right, here it is. All right, so he's driving in this car, Henry. And he's talking to a woman, and he's cheating. This is a fantasy sequence. And then the woman has a line. All right? And it is my favorite moment in this entire movie. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Have some fun in life.
Right, she sounds like Melanie Hustle from SNL when she would do the Valley Girl.
How dull! I mean, you have to have some fun in life.
All right, so this movie gets 2 stars. That's 2 stars right there.
You're out of your fucking mind.
MVP Jordy, LVP that girl.
1 star. MVP Barkley. LVP Jordy.
Okay.
Oh my god! And I think I ended up watching the credits all the way to the end because I was like, well, is something else gonna happen? It's one of those.
Yeah. Well, and I'm gonna give this movie a 2, but I do think that Look Who's Talking 2 is a better movie.
Okay. All right. Well, that has happened on the show. I don't know if it's ever happened with a 2 and a 1 rating, but okay.
I'm giving this movie the bonus star for being batshit, but that doesn't make it a good movie.
I do not have fun in life. It's almost like the female Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, it is. It is. You have to have fun in life.
Yeah.
Here it is again.
I mean, you have to have some fun in life.
I can't get enough. All right. Henry, what are we doing next week?
Well, first of all, I rank these 1, 2, 3.
All right. Yeah, me too.
All right. Next week, the great it's New Year. It's a new year, and it'll be 2022 the next time we see you guys. And so I believe it's called Ketchup Month. Is that correct? This is Ketchup Month.
Ketchup Month. We're talking about 57 different varieties of movie.
What if it's Hunts?
I won't cover Hunts.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Might be easier.
Hunts is disgusting.
No, it's fine.
It is disgusting. It is like one of the only poor people food items that I will not touch.
If I had to, I'd do it.
No, not me. I'll fucking splurge on Heinz.
All right.
All right. What's next week, Henry?
Next week is, all right, The Matrix Resurrections.
Yes, by Lily Wachowski.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, right. So we're catching up on shit like where we've already covered the franchises, but we haven't covered the newest iteration yet because it's new. So we're doing a lot of catch up in January, which is what Henry was trying to say. I was interrupting and being a dick because that's my job on the show. And so yeah, Mortal Kombat. When we say that, we're talking about that one that came out in like April of last year.
Yes. And
Directed, I believe, by Simon McQuoid. Is that correct?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
remember, man. I also, these are a lot of movies that are going to be happening this month in January that we're covering. I don't know about Dan. I think he cheated on one of them, but I have studiously avoided watching because I knew.
No, I've seen a few of them. Mortal Kombat was like back in April, and I knew we wouldn't get to it for a while, so I watched it, and now I'm dreading watching it again because it was really fucking boring.
Halloween Kills as well, right?
I've watched that, yeah. I've not seen the Matrix thing yet, which I'm excited about. And we're also going to be doing a TV show every week this month. Like a bonus TV show at the end of every episode.
Yeah,
so
the first episode of the first season of whatever.
Yeah, always just the pilot.
So we're kicking it off with the Queen Latifah, The Equalizer. As you all recall, The Equalizer was something we covered, I don't even think last year, but the year before.
Yeah, we did the Denzel movies and the show from the 80s. I watched the pilot of that. Now we'll do the Queen Latifah TV version on CBS.
CBS, yeah. So, I mean, should we just name the other things we're going to be doing?
Chris Noth just got fired from that show, man.
I saw a little thing on CNN about what the girls in Sex and the City have his back, but what did he do? I don't know what he did.
I don't think the girls in Sex and the City have his back. I think like everybody just thinks he's a sexual pervert, which like doesn't surprise me that much, Henry. You remember he used to like come in and like hit on the girls at the front desk all the time at Barnes and Noble.
Holy shit! I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I forgot we even saw that motherfucker.
he was in all the time. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's Mr. Big. He thought he could.
He was working. He was doing, I think, Law and Order: Criminal Intent at the time, so he was in the city.
He was behind Old Town. That's where they filmed all the time. That's when we
That's right.
saw Vincent D'Onofrio all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. Surprise Vincent D'Onofrio appearance.
What I tell you?
It was so ridiculous though. You gave that a 5, and it was like the second you gave that a 5, I was like, this must tie into Daredevil or something.
I knew you'd think that's why I gave it a 5.
I thought Daredevil was gonna show up.
And you're not entirely wrong. All right. That was fun, though. It was so much fun to just watch Hawkeye. I didn't have to have all these figuring everything out. I didn't have
The
to
strength
sit
of the
there-
show is the setup of the Haley Steinfeld character. I love that character.
Yeah, but it was also just, I didn't have to sit there and fucking figure out a puzzle the entire time, you know?
No, you know what? I actually did have a moment in the finale where I was like, I didn't understand something for a second, and so I just gave it like 10 seconds of thought, like, why is this happening? And I was able to figure it out so easily, and I was like, I took a step back and I was like, wow, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's the first one to really have, it's just a show. It's just a nice, fun show.
Yeah, we're not dealing with chaos magics and shit.
Correct. I didn't need to, I'm sure the Easter eggs are aplenty, but I didn't have to hunt for them if I didn't want to. Anyway. Should we say what else we're covering? I have it in front of me. I don't in no order because we're going to do however.
Yeah, that's fine. So these are the things we're going to endeavor to cover this month.
Yeah, this is true. He says it well. It may not happen with everything. It's a big list.
It'll happen with most of them.
Okay.
If there's something you really want us to cover, let us know. Honestly, I'll try to prioritize it.
All right. The Conjuring 3.
Yep. The Devil made me do it, which I've also seen.
You fucking bastard.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen anything on this list.
All right. Well, I keep up with stuff. What else? What else?
This fucking show prevents me from watching half of the stuff I want to see. So how about that? So I'm loyal to the show.
I mean, I'm loyal to the show. I still make sure to get everything in.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You're patient. That's what you are. You can't wait. All right, F9.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
I know. Forever Purge.
Seen that as well.
I know. We can skip the next one, listeners. The
What?
Kissing 3.
Nope, we'll be covering the Kissing Booth 3.
That'll be my last week.
Ever?
Maybe. Halloween Kills.
Yep.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I haven't seen that.
Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City.
We probably won't get to that, let's be honest.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
I want to see that in theaters, so maybe we'll do that.
Shocked you haven't already spoiled and seen that one.
I mean, I'm very spoiled on it.
That's too bad. I've told all my friends to shut up.
I mean, I don't know anything that happens in it, but I know everybody that shows up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And Matrix Resurrections. Among the TV shows, Chucky TV, Mighty Ducks TV, I Know What You Did Last Summer TV, and Equalizer
And
TV.
also not on Henry's list, Home Sweet Home Alone on Disney+.
Yeah, so Kissing Booth and Home Alone might not be.
Oh, stop it. Those are not going to be the two.
Resident Evil will be definitely above.
No, I think if there's any that we postpone on, it would be that. And maybe Ghostbusters, just because they're hard to get right now.
I think after Look Who's Talking, I feel like my feeling.
You're feeling what? You're breaking up because you have bad internet. All right, I guess I'm wrapping up the show. We'll cover some stuff in January and patreon.com/thefranchise. Hope you like that. We're doing some stuff over there for the time being. Please listen to, we love kids movies this week. We're talking about that movie Rumble, which is like a cartoon, I guess. And then we're talking about Big Brother 4 on what's it called? Comp Beasts with Logan and, Bad Air. Hey, Henry's back. I've been just plugging the Patreon. You want to wrap it up?
I heard every word you said.
Great.
Yes, I didn't know if I was allowed to talk. So
Well,
I
you
didn't
were
say
gone.
it.
You were gone. I couldn't hear anything you were saying, but now you're back. So what's up?
Okay. No, absolutely nothing. I will be thrilling month of January. All catch-ups. Everyone look forward to it. You've all been hankering for a lot of this shit for a long time. I mean, years we've been hearing about this. So you're getting it.
Yeah.
So close your Close your mutton chops. You're getting it. All right, everybody. Enjoy. Have a happy new year. Be safe. Thank you for listening. All 11 of you. And bienvenue, adieu, bonsoir, happy trails.